Today you're gonna hear what a Paul Reed Smith McCarty 594 guitar sounds like for metal. Now I'm also going to play a couple of other tones for you that's not metal, because obviously this guitar is not really built for metal style of music, so I want you to hear some other tones just to kind of show you how diverse it is. Now I do want you to stay tuned after the video. I'm going to go over all the specs and the details of this thing because some of those are quite interesting, and I'm going to tell you why I'm holding this guitar in my hands right now, so that's going to come at the end of the video. Real quick guys, do make sure you subscribe to my channel, ding the little bell, and please give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Now let's go over the juicy details of this PRS guitar. So again guys, this is a Paul Reed Smith McCarty 594. Now here's the thing about this specific series, it was meant to, capture that vintage sound, that vintage, feel and everything, but then have more of a modern playability. And as we go through the specs, that'd be kind of clear. It's kind of like that perfect vintage meets modern guitar. So let's talk about the pickups first. You've got these 5815 LT pickups. These things are pretty hot. They're a lot hotter than what I expected. Now that LT stands for low turn, which really gives you that more warm sound, and that's kind of what I expect out of a guitar like this particular guitar. But I was surprised when I kicked on my metal channels here in the studio, some of the squeals I was getting, and just the sustainability and all that stuff, and it gave you that metal edge. So I'm like, wow, this is not what I expected from this guitar. Now, one thing that's really interesting about this particular guitar is the body and the neck are made of Carina wood. Now, that's the type of wood that Gibson used to use for their Explorers and Flying V guitars, and I don't know how far back that goes, but I attribute a lot of the sustain that I get from my notes, even if I'm not playing with a lot of gain. I kind of attribute that to that type of wood, and it just gives you a different type of feel and tone and everything. Now, another extreme highlight of the McCarty 594 is the top. So this has what's called the 10 top. Now, basically what that means, it's a maple flame book matched maple top. Now, I want to give you a closer look at the finish here, because I don't know, man, this is just beautiful. And the fact that this green is kind of cool, because that's like my wife and I's birthstone, so that makes it much cooler. But yeah, just a really nice finish on this thing. Now, the fretboard is made of a unique Coca-Cola wood. And I don't know much about that particular wood, but all I can go by is how it feels and how it plays. And this thing is really, really easy to fret. Don't fret. And it has an extremely smooth playability. It's got that effortless playability. And I think that's part of that modern feature, if you know what I mean. You've got the vintage guitar, you've got some vintage tones here, but that's one of the modern features that this guitar has. It's super easy to play. Now, it's intonated throughout the entire length of the neck. And one of the awesome things about that is it really helps the guitar in general just stay in tune a lot better. And I don't play super aggressive, but I do play metal, so my playing's probably a little aggressive than most guitar players. And that being said, I haven't had a problem with the tuning in this guitar at all, and I've been playing the crap out of this thing for like the past 3 or 4 days here. Now, another cool thing about this guitar is I actually got the PRS Locking Tuners. I'll give you a little close up here. And I've become a huge fan of locking tuners in general for obvious reasons. I mean, it just makes the restringing of the guitar so much easier and saves a lot of time, and it also helps the guitar stay in tune a lot better as well. Now, you're probably wondering, Jason, dude, why are you holding this Paul Reed Smith McCarty 594 and not one of your metal guitars over here? Well, this is actually not my guitar. My good friend Brian, which you saw him on here about a video or two ago, we were testing out his Mesa Boogie Fillmore amp. And of course I, borrowed his Telecaster a couple weeks ago. And when I went back to return his Telecaster, he's like, dude, why don't you take this home and try it out? See how this does for, your style of music for metal and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say no to that. So Brian, dude, thank you so much. Now, on that note, I'm sure Brian will comment below under the Southern Creek Band. That's his YouTube channel there. I'm sure he'll comment below and go over any specs or any special things about this guitar that I may have missed in this video. But yeah, so I've got to actually give this guitar back to him at some point. He probably wants it back sooner than later. Or maybe I'll be like, hey Brian, dude, what's that over there? Sorry, dude, I don't know what happened to your guitar. I guess it just flew away. I do love the birdie inlays on this thing. Those are pretty awesome. So yeah, that's why I'm playing this Paul Reed Smith McCarty 594. But seriously, guys, I've enjoyed playing this thing, man. It's the playability is just super amazing. Now, I will say that Brian, he restrung this guitar with the lighter strings. I don't know if they're the super lights, but I believe they're 9s. Like the little E string is a 9, so I think it's 9 through 46 or maybe something like that, or 9 through 42. I'm not really sure what the heavy strings are on here, but yeah, that helps the playability out a lot too, especially when you're playing solos and leads. And the fretboard itself though is super smooth. I mean, I can't say it's quite as smooth as my ESP, like my ESP guitar, and I'm not really doing a comparison here. These are two completely different guitars, but my ESP, both my ESPs, I've got 7-string over there too, their necks are a little bit faster on those guitars, but there are some things I like actually better about this particular neck that I don't quite get on other guitars. So again, all that said, it's just got a really, you know, semi-fast neck and really smooth playability. It's pretty much effortless to play. Guys, let me know what you thought of the tones that I played for you earlier. Just comment below in the description there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And also, if you don't have this yet, guys, I have a free guitar practice guide that I give away. It's in the description of this YouTube video. So just click on that link and I'll send you that right away. And of course, you'll be part of my metal guitar family here, which I'd love to have you as part of that. So yeah, grab that. And guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you guys for all the support. I'm gonna jam on this guitar some more before I have to give it back to Brian. So yeah, I'm gonna do that probably like right now. Guys, until the next video, as always, keep it metal.